for this day that He blessed me to see. I have a portion of health and strength. I went down by the rally today downtown Greenville, and CNN News was there with the rally for Sanjay. Was also there bringing this project on. And when I heard it earlier this morning, I didn't know exactly where it was going to be, but I thought maybe it was going to be by the hospital, Greenville Memorial. But I said no, most of things like this, political things, probably going to take place by City Hall. So I drove on down by City Hall, and fortunately I was right. So I was there and had an interview with Sanjay, and others was there giving interviews and speaking. And it's something that's within me. Sometimes I don't know how you want me to answer a question, but I have the answer. But sometimes you need to respond a certain way. I haven't been trained for that, not yet, but I like to speak the voice that's deep within inside me. And it works. Say in the old days with the prophets, how they spoke. Even Peter spoke about who Jesus was. So when I was there about 25 minutes. And they made a lot of videos and took a lot of pictures. And I sort of think sometimes that we're in prophecy. The prophets had said many things that we see is taking place, is coming to pass. So, we were talking about health care. That's what we're talking about right now. They were talking about earlier this morning, still are today, health care and the cause, and Obamacare, and while we shut down as a government. Well, if we wanted to find blame, we have to search ourselves, search our hearts, search our report card. How does our report card look? We're not exempt. I look at the doctors, the hospitals, how the education system, how everything is just skyrocketed. The hospitals have no limitations what they're going to charge you. It appear that way. And the doctors, it appear that way also. The schools, higher education, it appear that way also. So, what are we to do about it? Nothing, if we don't recognize how we got in the condition that we're in, and nobody seems to know how to get out of it, because they are in denial. They are in denial. The educational lottery, what is that about? at a young age, a child got to hear that you got to set up a lotto to support my education. Look at that picture right there. I was on the way from the rally this morning around about 12:30, maybe a little later than that, almost 1:30 I would say. And I called a friend of mine that had a doctor's appointment this morning, 9:30. So I called to see how she was doing. And she said that she went and had examination done and they had prescribed her a medication. She went to the pharmacy to get it filled and she couldn't do it because she said her plan didn't support it. She said the prescription almost $300 and she wasn't covered. I said to myself, you see, the condition is all around us if we just open our eyes up and don't try to camouflage it. Just be real. But that word real, I think we try to get away from that. Truth, what is truth and what is real. And then another word we hear very little about is love. I'll be doing more interviews, I'm pretty sure. But they're looking for a response from me. But my response is this one. If we abide in God, He'll abide in us and He will give us direction. And one more thing. I want you to take this in consideration. His love, God's love I'm talking about, is sufficient. There's one way to live this life. It's not the economy. It's not Obamacare. But it's the love of Christ that's going to untangle us. I thank you for listening. God bless all His people as He has already died for us and gave us that promise to eternal life. Thank you.